Sorry.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah, the blade pinched because you weren't. It dropped on either side.
Oh, I see.
And then there's tension on there. When the motor, when you hear that sort of thing, it's like off immediately because it's like damaging itself as it's doing that. That's fine. It should be fine. There might be a little bit of rubber smell from the belt. So what happened here is as Paul was making this cut, the blade cut deeper and deeper until there was just a tiny little corner of wood left. And that little bit was just a little bit too flexible, and with the wood being heavy on either side and only supported by a small table saw sled, it came down on either side and pinched down on that blade and stalled it. This sort of blade pinch is more often experienced with a handheld circular saw if you're cutting a piece of wood and it's not supported near the saw. But it's easy enough to avoid by making sure that your piece of wood is supported near the saw, and the piece that's cut off will drop down, but maybe not too far when it's cut.
What causes burning? Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I going too fast or too slow?
Too slow.
Okay. I did the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's this sort of thing is where when ripping a rectangular panel like this, a lot of people, knowing that the blade is dangerous, try to push the wood as far away from the blade as possible, and that actually makes it worse. So imagine we're actually making a cut instead of grazing just the top of a stationary blade. If I push here, the blade is pushing here, and that gives this piece of wood rotation, and it wants to turn like this. Now, as we're finishing the cut, and I'm still pushing against here and not enough against here, as I get to the end of it, the rotation of the blade wants to lift this piece of wood up, and it'll jam in there real good, lift it up, and this happens in a fraction of a second. Now it's on top of the blade, and now the teeth are just pulling this piece of wood along. And keep in mind this is going very fast, and this piece of wood now comes flying and gives you one hell of a bruise in the belly, if you're lucky. No burning.
Yeah.
In terms of burning on the cut, sideweight pressure on the blade will make it worse. A dull blade makes it worse. Harder woods make it worse, but also cutting too slowly. Now, if I want to cut through this piece of wood and my saw has only got 1 3/4 horsepower, I won't be able to cut this fast enough to avoid it. Okay, that was a demo fail. I was sure this would burn with me cutting this slowly, but if I need to cut to this depth in hardwood with my saw, I tend to do this in 2 passes like this. So even though I had to make 2 cuts and raise the blade in between, my total cutting time was actually less. This is the cut I just made, and this is the previous cut. And actually looking at it now, you can see some stains here and here. So there was just a tiny bit of burning in that first cut.